Hey guys, J-Man here for some Spawn talk. Okay, we are going to be looking at King Spawn number 14. So let's get this guy out and take a look at it. So just a quick update. As you know, I've recently gotten back into Spawn. I read the first 50 issues of Spawn as they were coming out back in the 90s. And I ended up selling my collection when I sold off like 70% of my comic books. I regret selling my Image stuff. I've acquired most of it back, but not Spawn. And I hadn't read any Spawn from 50 to 300. And I only read 300 recently. As a test, because I was fed up with a lot of the stuff from Marvel and DC, I grabbed an issue of Spawn. I think it was 332. I literally just picked this up and thought, let me read Spawn and see what it's like. And I fell in love with it all over again. And I've now gone back and collected everything I could from 300 till now, including the Scorched, King Spawn, and of course Gunslinger, who is now like my favorite character. But I'm trying to catch up as fast as I can to all of the books. I'm close to catching up on Spawn. Haven't even started Scorched yet. I read Spawn's universe, so I'm getting there. But I do have Spawn number 14. Now, I read King Spawn number 14. I read King Spawn like 1, 2, 3, and 4, something like that. And then I skipped to this. So I just read this and I'll talk about it. So I'm going to review this comic, but please keep in mind that I have no idea exactly what's going on because I am behind. I just wanted to get my thoughts out on this book just so I have videos going because I do want to keep this Spawn thing going. And I've actually got a lot of feedback, and I thank everyone who's been commenting and giving me support on this whole Spawn thing. And please be patient with me. I don't know everything. If I make a mistake, feel free to correct me. I want to be corrected if I'm wrong. I don't know everything. Remember, Spawn 1 to 50, I read that like when it came out. Like we're talking, I'm like 14, 15 at the time of this stuff coming out, right? So I have zero memory of it. It may as well be 100 years ago. I've got to reread all those. So I actually got them all on digital, but I would like to replenish the collection and perhaps actually get the entire run of Spawn if possible. But I'm getting three. I'm missing a few Spawns. I'm missing one Gunslinger and one King Spawn. Then I've got everything. So with all that said, let's talk about Spawn number 14 now. King Spawn number 14, I'm sorry. The way I do my reviews for movies and comic books is I use something called Space that I've created. Created this, gosh, like maybe 10 years ago, maybe more now. Yeah, gosh, it's been maybe like close to 15 years. Wow. It stands for Story, Pacing, Artistry, Characters, Enjoyment. Each one of those categories gets a score out of 2. So if I thought the story was garbage, I give it a 0. If I thought the story was good, I give it a 1. If I thought the story was excellent, I give it a 2 for story. And then each category gets a similar grade. At the end, you get a score out of 10. That means that if I give a comic or movie a 5 out of 10, that means I basically gave every category a 1, which stands for good. 5 out of 10 means it's good. It was fun. You might only watch the movie once. You might read the comic only once. You might not revisit it, but it was still good. It's not bad. Anything that gets like 4 and under is where you're getting into this wasn't that great, right? So really most comics, should be between 4 and 6, right? Like 6 means, yeah, that was pretty good, right? Once you go higher than 6, that's where we're getting into, wow, like I'm going to reread this again. Like, basically as soon as this video is done, I'm reading this sucker again, that kind of a thing. So let's talk about the story here. We've got Clown, I guess. So Clown is back now. Last time I saw him, he got blown up. So he's with these other characters here. This boy who I do not know who this is. This other character who looks really cool. I don't know who that is. And I guess this guy's called Ordeal. Looks really neat. He's like a Satan character. And it looks like they're infiltrating people's minds here and trying to mess with them or something. So seems like they don't want Spawn to take over the throne in hell because Clown is just saying, look, I don't want to hell Spawn. It's just going to be a bunch of crap. Secretly, I think Clown probably wants the throne for himself. They do mention that here. We've got Terry here, who's looks like he's in rough shape. So last time I've seen Terry was at least 10 issues ago, and he seemed like he was doing okay. But obviously something has gone wrong. So they're kind of just messing with him over here in his mind on these pages. And they're checking out Spawn's mind as well. So that's very interesting. And this Raven fellow comes up. I guess this is Raven Spawn, perhaps, because they mentioned him in the previous issue notes. But I like this Raven thing. It looks pretty neat. So now these guys seem like they're trapped in Spawn's mind. The Raven gets them out by kind of climbing inside, which is kind of cool. So, and then they're just basically discussing their plans to take out Al. And I guess Terry is very integral to these plans, and he seems to possess some sort of ability or power that I do not know about that he can maybe take out Spawn. I don't care about spoilers, so you can spoil anything in the comments, even if I haven't read it yet. I don't mind spoilers at all. Never bothered me for movies or anything like that ever. I think things should stand on their own. Whether I've read this comic once or 10 times, it should still be a good comic to read. So the story here seems very intriguing to me. I do like to see what's going on. I love this guy. Who's this awesome character down here? Looks pretty cool to me. I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give this a 1 out of 2 so far because I don't know the full story, but I do like it. So I do think it sounds like a good story. So that gives it a 1 out of 2. For pacing, I'm going to give this a 2 out of 2 for pacing. This actually read very quickly. And normally these issues where they're inhabiting someone's mind or whatever, normally that kind of thing doesn't really get a big pass for me. I usually like a little bit more action in my stories, a little bit more fighting and stuff like that. But I thought the pacing was very well in this book. I don't know how many pages it is, but it did go by pretty fast. So I'm going to give it a full score of 2 out of 2 for the pacing of it. For the artistry, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 2. So 1 out of 2 means it's good. The art is good. This is a really nice page right here. I do like some of these panels here. Like this is like interesting kind of page. A little bit of hectic stuff going on. I do think the art is good. I'm giving it a 1, which means it's good. It's good art. I think I get, like see, there's some really nice pages here. But you got to be careful with art. You can't just give everything 2 out of 2, right? Because that's just like saying you're not, distinguishing anything, right? So 1 out of 2 still means it's really good. So right now we're at 2, 3, 4, at 4 out of 10 so far. So obviously this is going to end up getting a good score. So the characters, I'm going to give the characters 1.5. And I'm giving them 1.5 because I don't know all these characters. But they look very cool, and I'm very intrigued over Ordeal. He looks kind of neat. And this Raven seems very cool as well. So I'm not giving this the full 2 because I don't know all the characters exactly. Again, these scores could change once I read everything and get caught up. But this guy here looks really neat to me. So yeah, 1.5 is very high for characters considering I don't know everybody involved in this. Great cover. Good cover here. I got this cover. I don't even know what covers I get. Is this cover A? I don't even know. I just get whatever, kind of looks cool. So, and then for the enjoyment factor, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 2. Enjoyment just means that I like it or not. I'm giving it a 1 out of 2. I like this comic. I thought it was really good. I'm not giving it 2 because I wasn't like, wow, I've got to reread this like right now. Like, I mean, look, it was a good issue. Pretty standard stuff. I expect high quality out of Spawn. $2.99 US cover price. I think that's fantastic for the quality that you get out of these books. That's one of the drawing powers for me. It's like Marvel's charging you like $4 or $5 on some of these books. DC's got $5 on Action Comics and DC Comic, like Detective. Like, you guys are insane. You're getting much more value out of these comics. So that was 4, 5. So it was 5, 6, 6.5 out of 10. So 6.5 out of 10 for King Spawn number 14. That is a very good score. Anything above 5 is very good. 6 means it's pretty damn good, right? So, and it's approaching a 7. So that's actually really good. And I might even go to a 7 upon revisiting this when I get to it again. But I have to say, I'm really enjoying getting back into Spawn. And I've had a lot of encouragement from people, so I appreciate that. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. I am going to try my best to get these out to you every week because there's something every week, I think, for Spawn, so it's pretty exciting. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on King Spawn in general, King Spawn issue 14. Just anything you want to talk about Spawn related. I'm even thinking about having some sort of monthly stream where we discuss Spawn and maybe invite some people, not just my friends, like invite people from the chats to come in and talk to me about Spawn. But yeah, I really liked King Spawn. It was really good. So looking forward to reading the next one, and I'm really looking forward to getting caught up on Spawn in general. But that will wrap that up for this week, guys. I will see you next week for more Spawn talk. Until next time.